Celebrities may look perfect under the spotlight, but behind the fame are stories so bizarre you'd think they were made up. Imagine a world-famous actor secretly taming lions as a teenager, or a pop icon losing a lookalike contest of themselves, or a billionaire media mogul once getting fired for being too emotional. These aren't rumors, they're real, and today we're pulling back the curtain. Welcome to the Mind Metrics. Get ready for 30 unbelievable celebrity facts that sound fake but are absolutely true. Fact 1. Keanu Reeves gave away most of his Matrix fortune. When the Matrix sequels were filmed, Reeves was one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, but instead of keeping it all, he gave away an estimated $75 million to the special effects and costume design teams, the very people who made the futuristic world possible. He even bought motorcycles for the stunt crew as thank you gifts. Beyond the Matrix, Reeves quietly donates millions to children's hospitals, funds cancer research, and has been spotted giving large sums to people in need, all without public announcements. In a town known for ego and extravagance, Reeves is the rare superstar whose generosity has made him a legend, off-screen as much as on-screen. Fact 2. Harrison Ford was a carpenter before becoming Han Solo. In the early 1970s, Ford was a struggling actor who couldn't land steady roles. To support his wife and children, he worked as a carpenter, building furniture for celebrities, and even installing cabinets for director George Lucas. When Lucas needed someone to read lines during auditions for Star Wars, Ford filled in. His natural sarcasm and charm while reading Han Solo's lines were so authentic that Lucas cast him in the role. That twist of fate turned an out-of-work carpenter into one of cinema's most beloved icons. Fact 3. Christopher Walken worked as a teenage lion tamer. At 16 years old, Walken joined a traveling circus. His job? Lion taming. He performed alongside a lioness named Sheba, who he described as like a house cat in temperament. While Sheba was tame, the fact that young Walken stood in a cage with a lion at such a young age is astounding. This unusual beginning mirrors Walken's later career, where his unpredictable and slightly dangerous energy made him one of the most unique actors in Hollywood. Fact 4. Steve Buscemi returned to firefighting after 9/11. Before Hollywood fame, Buscemi worked as a firefighter in New York City with Engine Company 55. When the September 11th attacks happened, he didn't call the media or announce his return. He simply showed up at his old firehouse, put on gear, and worked grueling shifts at Ground Zero searching for survivors and clearing rubble. For days, nobody even knew he was there. Years later, his fellow firefighters revealed the story. To many New Yorkers, Buscemi isn't just an actor, he's a hero. Fact 5. Samuel L. Jackson overcame a stutter by swearing. As a child, Jackson battled a debilitating stutter that left him humiliated and often silent. Speech therapists encouraged him to use expressive words to break through his stammer, and Jackson discovered that swearing gave him rhythm and confidence. The habit stuck, becoming part of his personality and eventually his acting style. Today, his sharp, profanity-laced delivery is one of Hollywood's most iconic voices. What once was a childhood struggle became his trademark. Fact 6. Whoopi Goldberg worked as a morgue beautician. Before Broadway and the Oscars, Goldberg's job was applying makeup to corpses. She prepared the dead for funerals, an emotionally intense and unsettling role that forced her to confront mortality daily. She later said the job gave her resilience and fearlessness, qualities that carried into her bold comedy and dramatic performances. That early brush with death became a strange stepping stone to stardom. Fact 7. Danny DeVito styled hair for the dead. After high school, DeVito trained in cosmetology, hoping to become a hairstylist. He found himself working in a beauty salon connected to a mortuary. One of his tasks was styling hair for corpses before viewings. While grim, the work gave him steady income and an early sense of life's brevity, something that may explain his fearless, darkly comedic edge in acting. Fact 8. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job. At just 22 years old, Oprah landed a position as a news anchor in Baltimore. But her bosses quickly fired her, saying she was too emotional and not polished enough for television. What they saw as weakness, her emotional connection, became her greatest strength. She reinvented herself as a talk show host, building an empire around empathy, personal connection, and authenticity. Oprah turned rejection into the foundation of one of the most successful careers in television history. Fact 9. Ashton Kutcher has webbed toes. Kutcher was born with partial syndactyly, meaning two of his toes are fused together. Instead of hiding it, he proudly revealed it on television, showing audiences his foot and joking that the built-in flipper might make him a faster swimmer. In a world obsessed with perfection, Kutcher's honesty about his quirks only made fans love him more. Fact 10. Ice-T served in the U.S. Army. Before becoming a rap icon, Ice-T enlisted in the U.S. Army after high school. Stationed in Hawaii, he served for 4 years, where he also developed his love for performance by DJing and entertaining fellow soldiers. That mix of military discipline and musical expression shaped the persona that later made him a pioneer of gangsta rap and a commanding screen presence in acting roles. Fact 11. Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check before he was famous. In the early 90s, broke and struggling, Carrey wrote a personal check to himself for $10 million for acting services rendered, dating it 10 years into the future. He carried it in his wallet as a symbol of faith in his dream. By 1994, Carrey had landed Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, and his paychecks matched the amount he once imagined. For Carrey, the check was proof of the power of visualization and persistence. Fact 12. Taylor Swift keeps a framed photo of Kanye West interrupting her. The 2009 MTV VMA incident, where Kanye West stormed the stage and humiliated Swift, could have been a career-ending moment. Instead, Swift reframed it, literally. She hung a photo of the incident in her home as a reminder of resilience. That night marked a turning point in her career. What began as public embarrassment became motivation, fueling her rise into one of the most powerful figures in music. Fact 13. Elvis Presley was a natural blonde. Elvis dyed his hair black early in his career to look tougher and edgier. When dye wasn't available, he even used shoe polish. Combined with his piercing blue eyes, the look became iconic. Fans never realized his signature bad boy image was carefully manufactured. The king of rock and roll didn't just change music, he also changed his image to fit the role. Fact 14. Bill Murray has no agent, only a secret phone line. Most celebrities work through agents and managers, but not Bill Murray. He set up a private 1-800 number where filmmakers leave pitches as voicemails. Sometimes he checks it, sometimes he doesn't. Wes Anderson and Sofia Coppola got lucky. Others, like the makers of Ghostbusters 3, were ignored. His unpredictability has made him one of the most elusive and mysterious figures in Hollywood. Fact 15. Denzel Washington accidentally blinded a childhood friend. As a boy, Washington was roughhousing with a friend when he accidentally poked him in the eye, causing permanent blindness. Despite the tragic accident, they remained friends. Washington has said the incident haunted him and gave him a deep awareness of life's fragility, something that comes through in his powerful, emotionally grounded performances. Fact 16. Ryan Gosling was cast in The Notebook for being ordinary. Director Nick Cassavetes told Gosling, "You're not handsome. You're not cool. You're just a regular guy." That's exactly why he was chosen. The role, however, turned Gosling into an international heartthrob, with his face on posters, magazine covers, and millions of fans swooning. The irony is that the director's reasoning backfired spectacularly. Fact 17. Matthew McConaughey was arrested for playing bongos naked. In 1999, police responded to a noise complaint at McConaughey's home in Austin, Texas. They found him naked, sweaty, and happily playing bongos at full volume at 2 a.m. He was arrested for disturbing the peace, but instead of being embarrassed, McConaughey embraced the story, joking that it was just him being his authentic self. The bizarre incident cemented his wild and free reputation. Fact 18. Dolly Parton once lost a Dolly Parton lookalike contest. For fun, Dolly entered a drag queen lookalike contest in disguise. Ironically, she didn't even place. A drag performer impersonating her won instead. Parton loved the irony and laughed about it for years, calling it proof that her image had become so exaggerated that even she couldn't compete with it. Fact 19. Nicolas Cage once bought a stolen dinosaur skull. Cage spent $276,000 on a 67-million-year-old dinosaur skull, outbidding Leonardo DiCaprio in the process. Years later, he discovered the fossil had been illegally stolen from Mongolia. Cage returned it without seeking repayment, losing a fortune. This wasn't unusual for Cage, who also bought haunted mansions, castles, and a private island. His eccentric spending habits are as legendary as his acting. Fact 20. Kesha believed she was haunted by ghosts. While recording her album Warrior, Kesha claimed she was tormented by spirits and even hired a spiritual healer to perform an exorcism. She said the hauntings inspired songs and shaped her image as a pop star, unafraid to embrace the bizarre. Whether real or not, the story added to her reputation as one of the most eccentric figures in music. Fact 21. Mark Wahlberg has a third nipple. Wahlberg has openly pointed out his small extra nipple during interviews and photo shoots. The condition, called a supernumerary nipple, is harmless and surprisingly common. Rather than hide it, Wahlberg turned it into a joke, even using it as a fun icebreaker. The quirk made him more relatable in an industry obsessed with perfection. Fact 22. Madonna was fired from Dunkin' Donuts on her first day. Before her music career, Madonna worked briefly at Dunkin' Donuts in New York. She was fired almost immediately after squirting jelly filling at customers. Her rebellious streak was evident even then, and that same attitude later defined her groundbreaking, provocative career. Fact 23. Katy Perry collects celebrity hair. Perry once admitted to keeping locks of hair from stars like Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus. She kept them in her purse, tied with little bows. While unusual, Perry said it was her way of cherishing the people she admired. The strange habit became another part of her quirky reputation. Fact 24. Tom Hanks is related to Abraham Lincoln. Genealogists traced Hanks's family tree and found he is a distant cousin of Abraham Lincoln through Lincoln's mother, Nancy Hanks. Tom Hanks has acknowledged the connection and later narrated several Civil War documentaries. It seems fitting that America's most beloved actor is related to one of its most beloved presidents. Fact 25. Daniel Radcliffe suffers from dyspraxia. Radcliffe struggles with coordination due to this neurological condition. Tasks like tying shoelaces or writing neatly can be challenging. As a child, he was bullied for being clumsy, yet he went on to play Harry Potter in one of the most successful film franchises of all time. Radcliffe often speaks about dyspraxia to encourage others with the condition not to give up on their dreams. Fact 26. Mariah Carey can sing notes only dolphins can hear. Carey's 5-octave vocal range includes the whistle register, the rarest part of the human voice. The frequencies she hits are so high that some can only be heard by animals like dolphins and dogs. Vocal scientists have studied her to understand how she sustains such notes, making her voice a phenomenon as much as an instrument. Fact 27. Leonardo DiCaprio was named after Leonardo da Vinci. While pregnant, DiCaprio's mother was admiring a Leonardo da Vinci painting in a museum when she felt her unborn baby kick for the first time. She took it as a sign and named him Leonardo. Fittingly, the name became iconic in its own right, attached to one of Hollywood's greatest actors. Fact 28. Lady Gaga and Paris Hilton went to the same school. Both attended the Convent of the Sacred Heart, an elite all-girls Catholic school in Manhattan. Hilton was known for her glamorous socialite lifestyle, while Gaga described herself as awkward and bullied. The contrast between their paths, one becoming a fashion icon and heiress, the other a rebellious global superstar, shows how environment doesn't define destiny. Fact 29. Snoop Dogg was once a cheerleader. In high school, Snoop Dogg supported the cheerleading squad by performing chants and dances. He wasn't shy about showing school spirit, and he later said it helped him develop rhythm and stage confidence. Those skills became central to his career as one of the smoothest performers in rap. Fact 30. Benedict Cumberbatch was kidnapped at gunpoint. In 2005, while filming in South Africa, Cumberbatch and 2 friends were abducted by armed men after their car broke down. They were tied up, driven to a remote area, and held for hours before suddenly being released. The experience left Cumberbatch shaken, but also profoundly appreciative of life. He has said it influenced his acting, giving him a deeper understanding of fear and survival. And there you have it, 30 celebrity facts so wild they sound like pure fiction. Yet every single one is true. From lion tamers to ghost hunters, these stories prove that fame doesn't make life any less strange. If anything, it makes it even more unbelievable. Which of these facts blew your mind the most? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unexpected lives of the stars, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Mind Metrics, and turn on notifications so you never miss more unbelievable truths we uncover every week. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep your mind open to the unexpected. Thanks for watching, and like always, stay curious.